Okay. So we just arrived in Central Park, and let me say, having a bag like this really is a game changer. These straps here keep you locked in really well, take a lot of the weight off your shoulder and make it so it doesn't feel like it's too heavy on you. Even though this bag isn't fully loaded right now, we are still carrying a good amount of gear. And having something that can hold so much, but at the same time be comfortable while we're riding is a big help. When we're on our scooters right now, I want to still be able to carry all my gear with me, but without feeling like it's overloading. It took us about maybe 30 minutes to ride here. I didn't really feel any pain on my back. It has a lot of customization options that allow it to fit and suit your needs as far as comfort. So one of the things that I haven't really seen on a bag before are different strap sizes or strap adjustments here. So depending if you want it large, medium, or small, you can adjust it. And these slide depending on your preferences here. So you can play around and see what kind of fits best. So if you're taller, shorter, whatever, you can lock that into place there. Likewise, we have the wrist lock or the wrist strap at the bottom here. The other cool thing is that you have two small little compartments here that allow you to carry additional things. So I'm frequently either putting on or taking off my AirPods, especially when we're riding. We can actually easily communicate with wireless earbuds and having a phone call, communicating over Bluetooth that way. But what's nice is when I want to take them off, because we have this little pocket right here, I can easily access them as I'm riding. For things that you need to access more frequently, you don't have to dismount and take off your bag in order to access them. You can just put them right there. This could be camera related if you wanted it to be, or it could be something like another accessory like that. On this side here, I don't really have anything too important. This is just the gimbal lock holder for the Fimi Palm that we were recording the FOV portion of the video with. Really awesome as well are these comfort pads here. Cheaper bags tend to skimp out on this, will result in just more discomfort, especially with prolonged periods of use. So having these pads here, as well as where it wraps around your waist, helps it again be far more comfortable. When we go over to the side of the bag here, you've got tripod mounts and adjustable straps. This is pretty common for most camera bags, but the biggest difference that you'll see here is the additional strap near the top here. So especially with longer pieces of gear, as well as more oddly shaped ones like gimbals as well as sliders, you can get a better and more secure mount using this additional strap provided at the top here. This also applies for the other side as well. The ID pocket here, which I haven't actually installed yet. I instead have my ID information up at the top here for now until I can get a customized card that fits in there nicely. So now we get to the front of the bag itself. Again, one of the main features about this bag that made it really stand out to me and why it was a great purchase is the easy access pocket from the top. Most bags, as you know, if you want to access any of your gear, you actually have to unzip the entire portion in order to access any of it. So that usually means you have to stop, dismount, put the bag on a flat surface so your gear doesn't fall out. Not the case with this. It can be upright and you can still access your gear extremely easily using the hidden zippers from the side here. So we can zip, we can do a half zip. The other interesting thing is we have full functionality to zip far further down if we release the strap from the side here. So if we release the side straps, we can zip all the way down. But for right now, we're just going to show you what a half unzip looks like. Half unzip gets us access to this portion of the bag right here. So with the X-H1 and its power grip that Mia is filming me with right now, so that rests nicely here with it installed on the camera. And then the lens, right now we have the Biltrox, which is about this big, taking up that much space. More telephoto lenses would stick out further, so this kind of setup wouldn't work as well for it. You would need to adjust your compartments a little bit more if you want to have your camera at the very top for easy access and storage whenever you want, just using the half compartment like that. Likewise, you can see that I have kind of done some additional customization with just the compartments looking from the top view right now. Here you can see that I've divided it into 4 sections nicely. Compartment pieces that I had from older bags that made it more customizable to what I need and to fit as much gear that I use. Right away, you can see that we have a gimbal right here that fits nicely in this second section here because of its small diameter, and that I have enough vertical space that in its lockdown position fits really nicely and can be easily accessed and stored in that section right there. So the two most accessed pieces of gear that I need most frequently can be accessed just using this top portion here without having to unzip any further. Before we unzip any further, we can see that there are two more sections here that we can access, including this little zipper compartment here, which would be good for SD cards, maybe smaller wires, as well as maybe a smaller power bank as well. Currently, I don't have anything in there just because of the way I have my sections a little higher up. It wouldn't allow me to fit anything too big in there, although if I wanted some wires, I could put some wires in there. I do want to also note that the zippers are extremely good, and from my experience so far, they haven't had any hiccups. Hidden behind there, you can see that it is attached with some Velcro. But we also have a laptop and or tablet compartment that you could fit a smaller device in there. My iPad fits in there really nicely. I wouldn't put a laptop in there just because it's going to be a little too tight. My laptop's a gaming laptop, which is a little thicker. You can also see there that there are zipper access slots from the side. So for those larger devices, if we move our straps back, we can also pack our tablet and or laptop using the side compartment there, whichever is easiest. And again, this bag has so much customization and so many little small pockets that even though we've only just done the quick access portion of the bag, we have yet another pocket here. And this is where you can see I do have some wires. I have a USB-C cable right there just because I know that's going to be the most used cable that I need, and it doesn't take up that much space. This pocket actually goes really deep. You can either have it just at the top portion there, or as you can see, it goes down the entire portion of the bag once it's fully opened there. Now that we've opened the main section fully up, you can see that it has yet another kind of divider section here. And what's cool about this is, in addition to providing for another pocket with a zipper, which I have some lens caps in, is that it keeps all your gear when this is zipped up from falling out. So if you accidentally rock it or whatever, or you're just trying to access the stuff from the top portion, you're not gonna accidentally drop the things in this section out, which is fantastic. When you are ready to access the things in there, you can unzip that, and I'm gonna lean the bag just a little bit so we don't accidentally drop some things out. And you can see the additional pockets that I've created here. And again, your setup isn't gonna look like this out of the box, but you have so many customization options that depending if you're trying to carry more cameras or more lenses or whatever, you can customize the shape and size of these pockets to your heart's desire, especially if you have additional divider pieces from other bags or you've just bought them on their own. So in my case here, I have a couple other lenses. And like we said in the earlier portion of this video, I was packing a little bit lighter because the focus was to travel as lightly as possible for this portion of the trip. But we have the 18-155 lens. This cubby right here is empty right now. We have the X-T20 with an attached lens. This is the Brighton Star 12mm that we reviewed not too long ago. I find that when you have your dials and things like that, if you just want easy access and storage as quickly as possible without getting things hung up on them, you'll notice that I have the dial portion of the camera on the right-hand side here where there isn't anything obstructing it. Whereas if I put it the other way, pulling it out, it would likely get stuck on this and possibly pull it out. This is one of the additional storage compartment dividers that I pulled out from one of my older bags. And all it's doing right now is making sure that this gimbal is more snug and doesn't accidentally fall out even when I've pulled this divider out. Like you can see here with this pocket, the V-Mate is starting to slide out a little bit just because I have a weird miscellaneous kind of pocket here that I can fit a bunch of other loose items at the top here, especially ones that kind of have weird shapes. And then at the bottom here, I also have some other various things, tripod or monopod feet. So we can fit a good amount more in here, even though right now we're only at about maybe 70% capacity as far as what you can fit in this portion here. One thing I will note, you'll notice that this does kind of close at a bit of a 45-degree angle. So whatever you are putting at the top portion here, so in my case, the XH1, I want to make sure I have enough flexibility and I'm not filling this with like an iPad or something, because if I did, and something as large as an iPad with a screen would not bend and would prevent me from closing that as easily. So I would put more loose things and definitely nothing too bulky in these portions of the pockets here, especially if you are planning on filling this up as much as possible.
What are you doing, buddy?
I like your camera back. All right, dude, if you think all this was cool, wait till you get to the next portion. So now that we've completed the top section of the bag here, we're gonna go ahead and zip that closed. The lock is not included, but you can obviously add your own lock as you wish.
That's the cool thing about these handles, is that all the handles can be locked, and any handles can be locked together.
Right, so even if you don't have like a real lock on there, if you want to add like an extra layer of security to your bags, you can easily just wrap these up. Just so like if you're walking, especially in a busy area, or you leave it somewhere for just a bit, it's gonna make it far more difficult for someone to get into your bag without you noticing. We're going back to the exterior of the bag here where we have some other pockets that are also really cool. So in this middle section here, we have two pockets. Starting with the exterior one, this is where I have a bunch of miscellaneous wires and straps there. It's relatively deep. It's maybe about a ½ inch deep as far as its size or its volume there. And again, the zippers are really nice. And then this other one here is almost like what you'd expect in a school book bag, because you have your individual dividers where you could put like pens or USB readers and things like that there.
Styluses.
Yeah, other small things that you would probably want divided and a little bit better protected, you can put in these little small areas there. Something like here could be like business cards or wires or anything like that. And then I have some documentation for other gear that I'm reviewing in that larger section there. And then you have another nice zipper. And this is where you could put wires if you wanted to individually wrap and store your wires in there like that. And then to the final section. So you open it up and you're presented with this other large section here. What's cool about this is when you get your bag, you have additional section dividers that come with it that you can further break up and divide your bag into, like if you have additional lenses or cameras, you can store them like that. Right now, because I've managed to fit most of my gear in this top portion, I use this with the additional bag that comes with it, and I store my drone in here as we showed in the earlier clip. And when I need to just pull it out and have all my accessories for the drone in one location, I have the ability to just pull it out really quickly and it's all right there. Again, because we're packing a little lighter, we don't have anything in this portion here. So as we are picking up and storing other miscellaneous things along our trip, I can easily throw them into there, and that's perfect. Here we are a few hours later, but here's another example. We just finished lunch. And because I have this little compartment down here again, this should be able to fit in here. Our to-go food just went and fit perfectly in that bottom portion of the bag. Fantastic. It also, despite the fact that it's empty, it still retains really good rigidity. As Mia was saying earlier in one of the clips, she's like, wouldn't it be cool if this could kind of separate? Like if you weren't planning on using this portion of the bag, if you could somehow unzip it. And I think that would be really cool, but perhaps you might lose some rigidity. A future update or version of this bag would be cool if you could kind of like transform it and like even unzip this portion, kind of like you saw with those old school jeans, you know, where you could unzip it and turn it into shorts and you were like the coolest kid in class when you had those. It's not here, but again, you have this space here, which just offers a lot more flexibility. Again, you can add additional dividers for more gear, or in my case, I have it right now empty. So Mia's helmet, for example, if she was riding and she was using this bag, could her helmet fit in here? Surprisingly, yeah, it looks like her helmet fits in here really nicely. I think mine would probably be able to fit in as well if I took off the camera. Yeah, my helmet too would be able to fit pretty nicely in there. So again, having that flexibility in the open space, especially when you're trying to shoot in a more in a more fluid environment. For example, like you're just going out here, you don't exactly know what you're going to be filming, but you just want the ability to pack all your gear as well as have more flexibility with carrying other things. Having that additional space down there is fantastic. On the front here, so if you have other weird long pieces of gear, this could perhaps be another smaller tripod or monopod, possibly even a gimbal could be mounted on the front here. In this case, I don't really have these ever used, but at the bottom here, the last cool thing that we want to show is these rubber feet. This is well padded at the bottom, but having this additional level added to your bag there just is going to keep it off the elements a little bit more. So whether the ground is a little bit more wet or dirty, it's just going to probably, like Mia said, probably lengthen the life of your bag and just prevent additional damage from happening to the bottom portion there, because it is just raised off the elements a little bit more. Again, we've got everything wrapped up there nicely and tight. We're ready to get back to filming to another location. Either we're scooting off or walking off. Put it on. Tighten the straps, get on the scooter, and we're good to go. So I hope you like checking out that review for the Enduro Max backpack. This is one of their larger ones and definitely one of the ones that offers the most flexibility as far as what gear you can put in there and the variety of kinds of gear you can put as well. Likewise, it's very comfortable, so you can wear it for prolonged periods of time. So this is now my daily backpack and the things that I have in my backpack. I really like it. Well built. I'm hoping that it lasts for a good amount of years. It can adapt to your shooting style depending on the day, the time, and location. If you like checking out this review of this bag, you can check out the link below and learn more about the product there. Also, we are continuing the New York series of vlogs and videos during our trip here, so you can check those out down below as well, and stay tuned for more videos like that. Obviously, if you like any of the videos that you're seeing here, if you like this review, we also have more awesome tech, gear, and other reviews coming up on the channel too, so stay tuned for that. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Until the next one,